So by the end of this video, you will know how to very simply make 100K as a basketball trainer or anything else that kind of relates to it. Now, essentially, if you do pretty much exactly what this video lays out, within a year's time, you should have really no problem getting to that number. So the first thing is, number one, you need to actually believe that you can do that. As long as you can actually see it and you believe, you know what, this is a realistic goal, I can achieve that, and you have an abundance mentality, you can absolutely achieve that. So step one is more about the mindset. As long as you got that, okay, now we can actually move on to some technical stuff. So the second thing is actually breaking down what it would look like if you were actually achieving that. If you were able to make 100K in 1 year as a basketball trainer, what would that look like? Now, breaking that down over 12 months, that's $8,333 every single month. Not too complicated. That number may seem big for you at the time, but again, it's all about breaking it down so that way you know exactly where you need to get. Now, breaking that down a bit more, you need to look at, okay, how many clients do I need to have and what price do I need to be charging to get to that $8,333 a month. Now, you can take a higher volume approach where you're just training a shit ton of kids at a low price, or you can charge a little bit more and have less kids. I would suggest that. You're not a babysitting firm, right? You are a basketball training, and you hopefully supply a great product, so you want to charge what you are worth. So all you would need to be able to get to that number every month is 28 clients paying you an average of $300 per month. So maybe that's a $250 monthly subscription for one client, or maybe it's 4 individuals at $100 a month for each client. Overall, just the 28 clients on average need to be paying about $300, so you guys can kind of work that how you want. Now, at this point, you're probably going to say one of two things. A, there's no way I can get that many clients. I'm only training 5 right now. Or maybe you're training 20 clients already, but you're charging $20, $30 per session. The number one reason why I believe most people don't get to that goal of I want to be able to make 100K or I want to just be full-time as a trainer is they don't build the skills to be able to demand that price that is needed to be able to go full-time as a trainer to make that $8,333 a month. So to me, there's 5 main pillars that allow a trainer to command the prices and the respect and the reputation to get to that level as a trainer. Now, those 5 pillars are, number one, basketball knowledge. That is pretty simple. To teach the game, you obviously need to understand the game, plays, sequences, moves. That's obviously very common sense. Number 2 would be training knowledge. So this is one thing that I think most trainers don't have, and that's understanding skill acquisition, motor learning, what actually leads to results. Most trainers just go off of that baseline basketball knowledge. This is what I see in the game, so this is what I'm gonna do, and they just kind of teach how they were taught, and they kind of just skip over the whole part about what actually gets results, what actually transfers based on skill acquisition, based on science, based on research, and things like that. Number 3 is communication. You need to be able to communicate your point effectively in a concise manner. That also kind of falls into pillar number 2, which is skill acquisition. If you're over talking, you're not leading to results, and obviously players sometimes don't like that. So you need to not only be an effective communicator, you need to be able to speak with confidence, and you need to be able to talk to parents, players of all ages, and be able to connect with them. At the end of the day, training is very much a relationship, just as it is a transaction. So you need to be almost friends and family kind of with a lot of the kids that you train. Number 4 is understanding psychology, the way that players think, the way that you think, and just generally how different people are wired. Once you understand this, you can adjust the way that you teach, and you can adjust the way that you communicate with that player to connect with them better and to make sure that you're helping them get to their end goal based on the way that that player is built and how they're responding to you on a day-to-day basis. Number 5 is just a base level of physiology. So understanding the human body, understanding what's going on underneath all of those moves, all of the shots that you're putting up. And by combining all of this together, I think this is what builds a really good trainer that can get results, that can work with just about any player, and can also understand that he is delivering value at the end of the day and can command respect within the space because that person knows that they've put in the work. They know what they need to know to be a quality basketball trainer. So I think all of these points combined allows you to be a confident and respected basketball coach that knows how to get results regardless of the player in front of you. And this is what I think commands the respect to be able to charge what you need to be able to charge to get to that level as a basketball trainer, making 6 figures a year. And at the end of the day, like I was saying, you're not a babysitting company, so parents don't necessarily just want to pay for babysitting. Some parents do, but a lot of players, high school, college, pro, they paying for results. If you don't have this knowledge, you can't effectively get them results. Because at the end of the day, right, that's what players are after. And when they get results, that's when they're going to start to talk, and that's when you're going to start start to get a lot of that word of mouth, which is going to bring you more kids being able to charge what you need to charge, and this is where you start to scale up. So at the end of the day, you're obviously not going to learn all of this stuff within a day, within a week, within even a month. For me, this took multiple years. If you spend, I think, 1 solid year learning about all 5 of these different things, I think you'll be ahead of 90% of the trainers that are out there, and you will start to stand out in your marketplace. Now, on the other side, right, we kind of talked about the actually getting results, being respected, understanding your worth as a trainer. The other side comes down to actually getting more kids in the gym. Just getting results sometimes isn't enough, and you need to do a little bit more. So one way that we can obviously get more clients is through leveraging social media. If you have a following, leverage that. Also leverage your connections. If you know high school coaches, if you know AAU coaches, if you have a friend that has a kid that's a basketball player, start to leverage those relationships. Hey, let's get in the gym, let me work with your kid for a day, and then let's just go from there. I think if you can give somebody, say, a free session, a free trial, and just provide value up front, and again, you have that knowledge that we just talked about, they're gonna see the value in working with you, and they're gonna see the value in paying you as their basketball trainer. Now from there, at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is having a good product, so all of this encompassed together. And if you have a really good product, the number one way you're gonna get more clients is through word of mouth. This comes from just doing a really good job, constantly over delivering, and really caring about every single kid that you train. If you have 2 kids and both those kids tell somebody else, now you have 4. 4 turns to 8, 8 turns to 16. It can grow really quick if you do a really good job. The last thing is, okay, if you have this knowledge, if you have plenty of kids, you need to know what you're worth at the end of the day and eventually charge the prices that you need to charge to be able to make this money. I've seen lots of trainers who are very passionate about training, which is great. Obviously, we all are. We're all in this game to help other kids and for our passion for training. But if you're in this and this is a business, you need to be able to feed yourself. You can't keep charging $20 anymore for an individual session and not worry about the money, because at the end of the day, you'll be sitting there and you'll have to go back to a 9-to-5 job, right? That's not the goal. If you're currently charging $50, you might need to jump to $75 or $80 an hour, or even $100 an hour. And you can't be afraid to do that, because if you are, at the end of the day, you're not gonna hit that goal of reaching $100,000. It doesn't matter if it's another business or a product and you know it's worth that amount, you need to be comfortable charging what it's worth. If you do all of these things, you'll have no problem hitting that goal. I promise you. Take a year, learn what you need to learn, and constantly just keep improving. You'll hit that goal, I promise you. So if this helped you guys, if you guys are a basketball trainer, drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. Would really appreciate it. With that said, see you soon.